school, you couldn't read the cat and the dog. Sound it out, DC, head-ass boy. Girl, baby, boy, everything in my life I have manifested.
Wilding Out was your big break? Was that what got you? Was that like?
No,
Okay.
I think I got the opportunity to be on Wild 'N Out because of social media. Social media was my big break.
B. Simone is somebody who's done extremely well in the social media sphere. She has made a real name for herself, breaking out in Instagram, to Wild 'N Out, to building an impressive beauty empire. You know, she's kind of done it all. She's got over 1 million followers on YouTube. Very impressive stuff. But we're talking today about how she is saying that she's broke, and what's led to that, and what can we learn moving forward. Let's get into it.
I feel like there's been so much financial, just my finances, like the budgeting. You see how I am, nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Now, I wanted to take a pause right here because everybody speaks about, you know, the famous H&M and Burlington factory quote now, and in terms of her finances. But if we look a little bit further, there's a little bit more that we can see that gives a little bit of insight into how B. Simone's finances are actually working.
Yeah.
Like I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the liquid.
Yeah.
I'm used to having liquid. And because I've invested in this app and this platform, I don't have the liquid. I got the money.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. I have it in assets. I have it in jewelry. I have it in, you know, but it's like the liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
Now, when we break that down a little bit further, it's clear what B. Simone's saying. It's really apparent. She doesn't see the cash flow in her account. She's got wealth. She's not by any means broke, but her bank balance is way lower than what she's used to seeing. And that's a really important distinction between what she said and what's been insinuated here. You know what's really interesting? If we look at one of her podcasts that she had with another person, she actually goes a little bit deeper into her finances. And this podcast is not that far away from the one where she talks about this issue. Let's have a quick look here.
Because I have stories about that. Then had the money, then lost the money. Now I'm like, all right, now I'm budgeting. Then you go back to losing the money. Then you go back to, oh my. It's like, oh, okay, when is it just going to be a flow? A flow. And I'll let you answer that question. But Jazz, we had a conversation maybe about a couple years ago, and she asked me like, do you respect your money? And I'm like, no.
No.
Actually, I don't.
Now that I think about it.
Now that I think about it, I don't.
Now, it's clear with something like this that B. Simone, you know, as she said in her own words, I don't have any respect for my money. So this means that she spends it as she wants. Now she's saying that she's budgeting, but, you know, that is to say that at that time, she had no understanding of how to spend her money. She has grown up in a lower class income state where she's using any means necessary to make her rent and make her bills be paid on time. But now she's in a position where she is able to, you know, walk away with large amounts of money and be able to spend as she pleases. Yet again, she's in this same problematic issue of that money comes and money goes, and the crux of the issue is that she has no respect for her money, and that's the fundamental issue here. If we look a little bit further as well, she dives a little bit deeper into her understanding of money and how she can use it as well. And this isn't something that she's thinking about in the past. This is a current mindset that she's got at the moment.
But when I got my first like wave of money, like, oh my God, like I'm a millionaire now. Like, oh my God, I think I still have that same mindset of not really respecting money. It was just like, it's going to come, it's going to go, it's going to come. But like, how do you get on the trajectory of having it constantly work for you and you're not working for it, and having residual income and investing it in the right places? And I just was so nilly-willy with it that, yeah, it came and it went.
Yeah.
Now, going by what we've just seen, it seems to make sense, doesn't it? She doesn't respect her money. She's ended up going broke. H&M, Burlington factory, yada, yada, yada. The thing is, let's look at a clip even further back, a year ago, which kind of delves into what her mind was like then. And it's honestly a complete contradiction from what I've seen.
A month with $1 million, that's incredible. And then you might have a $10,000 month. But what it speaks to is financial discipline.
Come on.
So what are you doing in between that, right? Even to get to the point where I have 700,000, I'm gonna get to $1 million. people are watching you make the money, but you're not spending the money.
Yeah.
So where did that financial discipline like set in for you?
I think I've always been a good steward over my money. Of course, now I can afford people to help me, my accountant, my financial advisor, people that watch my money. We have meetings every month, and if a dollar is missing, I will know that dollar is missing.
Hold the phone. This clip was 2023. She's talking about how she's so good with her finances, how she manages her money, and how she is a really good steward. Yet, 2 years later, a year and a half later, whenever it is, she's saying she's broke and she's not seeing the liquid, in her own words. Where has it all gone wrong?
I was not always like that.
Okay.
But back in the day, like I was talking to my sister, she just bought a new car, and she's like, I can't pay my car note. I'm like, there's no reason you should have bought a new car in this season. When I didn't have money, I saved up my cash. I bought the cheapest hoopty I could find for $5,000, and I was like, I don't have a car note. It gets me from point A to point B. I don't care how I look, and I drove it. Even when I started quote unquote making it, my homegirl was like, stop pulling up in that car. I'm like, I don't care. I'm about to valet this car, and until I'm ready to financially move to the next level, I'm gonna drive my damn Toyota. So I think people spend too much money in the moment, and they don't think long term.
Okay. What do we have to say about that? I think personally for me, what I think B. Simone is crying out about now is the fact that she has had a certain amount of money now. In the last couple of years, she's become very accustomed to this lifestyle. She's been accustomed to the amount of finances that she's got. And this changes over time, right? So what we've got here is the situation of lifestyle inflation. That's just what it is. Now she's had to invest a lot of money into her business, into her app that she's promoting. And I think what that's done is it's a little bit less than what she's expected of. And it's kind of like, in my opinion, a little bit spoiled child behavior, and that's why we're seeing the repercussions that we are with B. Simone. I think there's a lot of good information to take away, and I do believe that she is quite savvy with her money in some ways, but I also believe that she has been a little bit caught up in the lifestyle of flashing her cash, and she is a little bit of a hypocrite in that. So I think that kind of covers some different avenues, gives you some food for thought. Let me know what you think, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. Catch you next time.